This weekend, I gave Heavy D's Blue Funk
Come on, y'all are
a
killing
listen
me.
for 20 times, and I just have to say it's a classic that deserves more recognition.
You all are killing me right now.
Vincent, I recall you mentioning this album on
Yes.
previous episodes and your admiration for Heavy D, and I'm totally with you on that. I firmly believe Blue Funk is a top contender for one of the best hip-hop albums of 1993. It's criminally underrated and still holds up strong today. The lack of hype surrounding it, especially when so many heavy hitters dropped that year, like Wu-Tang's Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers, Doggy Style from Snoop Dogg, and your beloved Tribe's Midnight Marauders, as well as Ice Cube's Lethal Injection, is a real shame. Don't get me wrong, those albums are undeniably iconic, but I wish Blue Funk had received the recognition it deserves alongside them. Now, as someone who considers Heavy D my favorite solo rapper
But say that's your man right there
of all time, I will also cape for Blue Funk. Blue Funk is an amazing album. Does it stand the test of time against Tribe, Wu, Snoop? Maybe not. But does it deserve its recognition? Absolutely. I think Heavy D, much like Minnie Riperton, like we just said, is one of those names and voices and personas that time is slowly forgetting.
And I am not the biggest Heavy D fan like you are.
I know you're not.
Like speaking of Run DMC, I feel like Heavy D got pulled into kind of New Jack Swing, and like I feel like the siren call of pop. He listened to it a little more than I would have liked him to listen to it. But you know, look, I'm not an MC, and I understand, like, no disrespect to Heavy D. But for those of you that don't know, Heavy D's one of his very close friends and backup dancers, Trouble T-Roy, died very tragically. Died. And Blue Funk is the album that they made after he died. And Pete Rock, the great Pete Rock, produced the whole album. And Heavy D was, you know, again, very much, he was a dancing MC, a lot of New Jack Swing, very upbeat, very, dare I say, pop.
Yes.
And Blue Funk was well, just like the title says, like, it was very contemplative. It was very thoughtful. And I do think a lot of people slept on that album.
Yes.
Because Heavy D fans, it was something that they weren't really expecting. I do think that there were people who dismissed Heavy D, although Heavy D was always a killer MC. Like, Heavy D was always a killer MC, but because he was, you know, we got our own thing and they were dancing and stuff, they're like, I'm not really doing that. And they didn't really listen to the album. And then as he said, 93 was a tough year to come out with album.
Yeah, man.
Like, 93 was a tough
there was not a lot of space.
year.
Because
Did he say Wu-Tang?
yes.
Yeah, like Wu-Tang.
That's it.
And Midnight Marauders and Doggy Style the same year?
I know. And not even, and didn't even touch on Ice Cube.
Right.
So, I mean.
Yeah. 93 was a real tough year.
It was a
to
tough
come
year.
out with album.
And right there, like you just said, Heavy's associated with New Jack, which is still hot, but it's kind of like starting to turn.
Right.
And with Wu and Cube, you're really experiencing the change over in hip hop, right? Which, as much as I love Heavy D, I will also say that my one thing that I lament about Heavy is that he sometimes would chase the trend.
Right.
And I think that was to his detriment as well.
And in full disclosure, my brother put me on the Blue Funk.
Okay.
Like, I was actually not checking for Heavy D like that. And Damon, as he did many times that year, because Damon is also the one that said, I think, we always joke, my brother has this real deep voice. He has since he was like 4 years old. He said, Vince, I think you need to listen to this group called the Wu-Tang Clan. I said, the Wu-Tang Clan? Are they like, remember, what was the name of the big Pacific Islanders that had the group? Remember them? They were like the rappers.
Oh, Oh my God, I can't remember what you're talking about. I know you're talking about not X-Clan.
Not X-Clan. Anyway, Damon said, I think you need to listen to this group called the Wu-Tang Clan. I was like, the Wu-Tang.
And mind you, that was Damon at 4 years old saying that.
Like, well, I always joke. Damon, the first time Damon heard "I Need Love" on the radio, Damon was like literally like 9 years old and had on pajamas, and I Need Love came on, and Damon said, "Booyah Tribe, Booyah Tribe." Anyway,
oh yes, Booyah Tribe.
Damon said, "This is the end of rap." Damon said, "He making rap for girls. This is gonna be the end of rap." He was like 9 years old. That's Damon. Damon was not a fan of "I Need Love."
Yeah.
He said
was.
Damon said, "That's the end of rap."
L was because L knew.
Anyway,
L knew.
Booyah Tribe. I was like Wu-Tang Clan. What is a Wu-Tang Clan?
I remember Booyah Tribe.
Yeah.
I remember that.
But yeah, Damon put me on the Blue Funk. Shout out to my brother.
Michael Sykes continues, on a different note, I also just caught your episode reviewing Who's the Man from 1993.
All right.
I have to say, the way you two absolutely roasted the movie and the soundtrack was pretty entertaining, but I feel like there's more to it than just the flaws. There are a few things worth celebrating. First, Who's the Man marked Bernie Mac's first major film role with speaking parts, and his performance was hilarious. Second, Baja Jola's acting was spot on. And lastly, the soundtrack introduced us to one of the greatest rappers of all time, Notorious B.I.G. with his track Party and Bullshit, which is a banger. Okay, you've named 3 things. Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. We can see Baja Jola act his ass off in other things. Mm-hmm. Bernie Mac did more things in other things.
He did.
And Notorious B.I.G's Party and Bullshit was the only thing worth listening to on that album.
Oh, I don't remember. Oh, I'm not going to say that because I don't remember what's on that album.
I'm pretty sure it's the only thing.
Seems like Who's the Man probably had good songs on it. I don't remember whatsoever, but I'm not going. That was Len saying there was nothing else to listen to on that album. I don't remember the album, so I don't know.
What do you mean you don't remember the album?
I don't remember.
Why don't you remember the album?
I'm sorry. I was so busy trying to remember the Booyah Tribe. I don't even know if they made music. They was just big Pacific Islander dudes.
They were. I
was like, do they make music or are they wrestlers or?
They definitely were. All right, here are the songs from the Who's the Man soundtrack. All right. Let's Go Through the Motions, Jodeci.
Yeah, I don't really.
So that's some $3 thing they just threw out there. All right. What's next on the menu? Pete Rock and CL Smooth.
That's a good song.
It's probably a good song.
Yeah, that's a good song, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
But it's never made the best of Pete Rock and CL Smooth.
All right.
Okay, this is one. You Don't Have to Worry, Mayor J. Blige.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I wonder, was that actually made for the soundtrack?
You just said what's on the soundtrack.
Okay.
All right.
Hitting Switches, Eric Sermon.
That's a good song.
That's a good song.
I think you're wrong.
That's a good song. That's a good song.
You're not ready to say you're wrong? Like, just say I was wrong.
I said Party and Bullshit is the best thing.
No, you said the only thing.
I don't remember saying that. Check the tape. No, we don't have time.
It's not streaming anymore. This is what I'm talking about, people. This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay. All right. Just so I can continue. Hitting Switches, Eric Sermon. Hotness by Heavy D and Buju Banton. Who's a Man, House of Pain.
That's a good song.
That is a good song.
That's a good. Yeah, I think this is a good soundtrack. Hey man, it's okay to be wrong.
I'm wrong.
Okay,
all right. It's not a bad soundtrack.
All right.
It's not well used in the movie.
Okay,
I can say that, but it's a good soundtrack.
All right,
it's a good soundtrack. Well, I took a L on that one.
Wait,
all right.
I was like, I think the soundtrack was pretty good.
All right. Well, okay. Hey, yeah, I'll be right.